Hello folks, this is Audiotron 1003 and this is another one of these request videos from Alarms and Stuff and Thunder the Jolteon. They both requested that I talk about this Scantech bell box that's positioned here buried amongst my Japanese souvenirs. So first of all I'd show you it in position with the rest of the collection so you can see how small it is. To give you an idea, that Anker alarm box is, well, basically it's A4 size piece of paper, so roughly 30 centimeters by 210. So that will give you an idea of how small this particular box is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, remove the souvenirs and take it off the wall and show you. So this is the box that I've taken off the wall. It's a little bit wet in places because it's never been off the wall since I put it up there around about 25 years ago at least. Basically this is it. I call it a dog bowl alarm box, but apparently it's made by Scantech. This here, that's the paintwork that's come off the wallpaper. It's polycarbonate, and the labeling originally came from something that would have been on a H-class polycarbonate box in red. It would have said Alarm Call Systems, and then it would have had originally Plumtree and then the phone number, which is a place in South Nottinghamshire. But then they moved to Nottingham, Beeston, back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then they changed it to Notts. And this is the, it's so old that there isn't a prefix of a 9 before these numbers, so it's one of the original styles. And like I've said, there's nothing in this box. It's another one of these dummies. So that's just water where I've given it a quick wash. So basically inside the box is just that, and you can see the circle of white where the boxes come off the wall. The other screw holes are just where I may have had other boxes before I mounted this. So it's mounted in the same way as the modern alarm box tucked away in the background there. So these Scantech boxes, I've only got one, and I wasn't really bothered about it at the time, excuse me, but basically I thought, why not? It'll fill the collection, and I never really took it away, so it's just stayed there for about a quarter of a century or so, or thereabouts. So there's not much more for me to say about this box, except for it was made basically for me in terms of the labeling, because they didn't use this style box. So it was custom made for me in the sense that they used a traditional sticker and just stuck it on one of these boxes. And Alarm Call Systems were very responsible for a large part of my collection back in the day. Now, I know I'm not really talking about the box as an item because there's not much to say, but I thought it was important to let you guys know that Alarm Call Systems originally had red C-class and H-class polypropylene and polycarbonate vented bell boxes, but over the years they changed to smaller sounder boxes, and then eventually I think they just went out of business or swallowed up by one of the bigger boys back in the day, probably round about 2009, 2010. So anyway, not much more I can say. So this is my Scantech bell box, and I imagine that all that would have been in it, if it was live, would have been a bell and probably not much else. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.